my Knights of the Round Table? Yeah?
David, sit down.
I don't know if you have proven yourself to be knights. Who are you, young man?
Charlie.
Charlie! I have heard. Charlie the Great? Charlie the Adventurer?
Charlie the Magnificent.
Charlie the Dirty? What is your royal name,
Charlie
young
the
sire?
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown? Charlie Panther Brown?
Charlie
Brown. The king is speaking! Tell me, good knight, what is your knightly name? Charlie the... Well, Charlie the... I knight you as one of my good knights of the Round Table. Now, I am told that you young men and ladies like stories. Maybe I was mistaken. Do I have the wrong house? Do you guys like stories? Do you like stories about the knights?
Yes, and we'd like them up here.
And the days. Oh, that would be good. I didn't realize I was in
There we go.
This is a kingly place, not like over there where the peasants stand. Used to be? I am a real knight. I happen to have a time machine. That's why I came. Yes, and I hang out in my castle. Do you know the name of my castle?
Yeah.
What is it? Camelot.
You're King Arthur.
King Arthur, that's right. Camelot. Do you know Camelot?
Yes. We have a lot of Camelot.
Yeah, Camelot is where the Knights of the Round Table stay, where we talk and where we talk about chivalry and other things that knights do, like hang out in castles and slay dragons and stuff like that. And we have a round table. Do you know why we have that round table? But because the corners are sharp, I kept hitting my head and bumping myself, so my mom made me cut off the edges. But it just so happens it's also a good spot for us all to gather around and tell stories of our adventures.
Ooh.
And many, many adventures. And it seems, do you know what chivalry is? What is chivalry?
It's how you fight a dragon.
Oh, that's close. Chivalry is the way that the knights act to other people, because you're supposed to be brave and you're supposed to be honest. No, not greedy. That's the opposite of chivalry. That's who we fight against. And you're supposed to be kind to the poor. And it seemed one night King Arthur and his knights were sitting around the round table, and it was a dark night. It was a very dark night. How dark? Very dark. It was a very dark night. And all of a sudden, at the great doors, they heard a rapping.
Who is it?
That's what King Arthur said. Who is it? Except with a much more manly voice. Who is
I'm
it?
not a man.
Now you aren't. So, Sir Gawain, one of his good knights, went over to the doors and opened the doors. Very big, very heavy doors. And there was a little old man there. He was from the village. He was bent back. And he'd had a little bit of the daddy drinks. And he was like, can I have a push? And Sir Gawain said, "Be gone from here, peasant." And the old man said, "But I really need a push. Can you give me a push?" And Gawain said, "I don't have time to help you with a push. I'm sorry, old man, go away." And the old man said, "Oh, you know." And he closed the big doors. Right? And Sir Gawain walked over to the round table. And he talked to me. And I said, "Who was that?" at the door. And he said, "Some little old man. I think he'd been on the, had a couple drinks. And he wanted a push." I told him to go away. And I said, "Sir Gawain, you should know better. We believe in chivalry. We help people. Right?
Right!
remember before you were a knight, and you had your cart, and it was laden with all sorts of things, and your horse was pulling the cart, and it got stuck in the mud. And then Sir Lancelot came along, and you said to Sir Lancelot, hey, I really need a push. And Sir Lancelot came and helped you push that cart out of the mud. Do you remember that? And Gawain, he was embarrassed. He said, yes, I do remember that. He said, well, don't you think this old man deserves a little help? He needs a push. And Sir Gawain said, yes, you're right, King Arthur. So he went to the doors and opened the doors, right? And it was dark outside. And he called out, old man, are you still out there? And in the dark, he heard, yes, yes, I'm still out here. He says, do you still need a push? And the old man said, yes, yes, I really still need a push. He said, okay, where are you? He said, I'm over here on the swing. That was a great tale, handed down from the 12th century. What was that?
Handed down by the ages.
Handed down through the ages, that's right.
Through the ages.
Now you know, we went, me and my knights, or my knights and I, as we like to say in the proper King's English, the knights and I, we went searching for many, many, many treasures. The Holy Grail. Have you heard of the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
It's a really nice cup. Man, if you drank out of this cup, you'd be like, oh man, that juice tastes good. That's a good cup. Yeah? Do you have a good cup?
Yeah.
Not as good as my Grail.
I get a
Oh,
sip of it.
but maybe one day if you're lucky, I'll let you sip out. Yes, it's the ultimate sippy cup. And I also found Excalibur, the greatest sword of all time. The way I got this sword is I went to the Misty Lake, and there was a lady that lived in the lake, the lady of the lake, and she pulled it out of the depths of the lake, and she flung it at me, and it stuck right here, but I was able to pull it out and get that mended up, and I got Excalibur, the magical sword. But there was one treasure that I searched for many, many years, and it was very hard to find, and it was the talking clock. The talking clock. Now this was in the days before you had your, what do you call them, your smell phones that you have. Do you have one of those? You have one of those? We didn't have smell phones back. Huh? You had one? You have one? Do you? Wow, how'd you get one? You don't? Okay, well, maybe when you're good, next Christmas. I don't know, Mom, Dad. So anyway, we were on the search for the talking clock. And we searched high. And we searched low. And we searched high again, because we forgot we searched there before. But we looked all over the place for the talking clock, the legendary talking clock. And one day, we heard from a little old lady who lived in a cave, to find the talking clock, you must go to the village of Blumblesnort. And there's a little old man there. And you must rap on his door 3 times. And on the 3rd time, he will invite you in. And he may let you see the talking clock. He said, thank you, old lady. And I gave her a small gift for advice. And I rode off. This is right. I rode off. There you go. With my many men and ladies. Yeah. And I rode off towards the small village of Blumblesnort.
What do you have in his sword?
What do I have in my sword?
Maybe you got
Candy.
a treasure. Maybe you got candy.
So I rode off
Candy.
towards this village I cannot pronounce. And I went and found the small hut amidst many, 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 many huts. And I knocked on the door 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. There you go, had a little echo there, I like that. All right. And this little old man opened the door. And he said, I remember you. I was on the swing right outside your Camelot. That was great. And I said, old man, I remember you too. And I hear that you have the famous talking clock, right? And he said, yes, it's a talking clock. It will tell you exactly what time it is. It'll tell you. And I said, can I see it? I've been searching for many years for the talking clock. He said, yes, come on in. And he goes over into this room, and there's this giant metal gong.
Isn't it scary?
It's not scary, I promise you. This giant metal gong. I'm a little scary, but the joke is, that story. The giant metal gong. Do you know what a gong is?
No.
It's a giant metal round thing. Exactly. And I said, this is the talking clock. There was no numbers on it. No. He said, it's a talking clock, I tell you. And he opens the window and he picks up a big stick and he hits the gong. Boom! And the guy next door opens his window and he says, for crying out loud, it's 3 in the morning! Amazing! Talking clock. One of the many. One of the many treasures. Yeah, exactly. You know what King Arthur would like right now?